Hey guys, I'm Gregory and today we're going to be doing an introductory lesson on how to hold the guitar, how to sit with the guitar, and how to hold the pick. It's just a basic beginner lesson to get you started, but it's also a very important one. So let's do it. We're going to start with posture, how to hold the guitar, right? So from just watching me hold the guitar, it's pretty easy to imitate what I'm doing, but there's still a couple important tips that I want to show or mention to you. Okay, so the first thing is we have this little curve at the bottom of the guitar here. This is a great place to rest the guitar right on your right leg, right? Simple. Next, this angle of the guitar here, we want to make sure that the guitar is a little bit out, not too close into the body. And the reason for that is if the guitar is too close in, you will find that when holding the fretboard, your elbow gets behind your body, which is a bit uncomfortable. So you want to make sure that the guitar is a little bit outward so that the elbow just rests somewhere on the side of the guitar here where it feels very natural. So with regards to the right hand now, this inner joint, a good place to rest at would be right on the corner of the guitar here. And that should give you easy access to the strings for strumming and picking. And that's pretty much it. We also want to sit upright and we want to keep the guitar upright. It's very important that we do those things. There's a temptation to let the guitar lean back this way when trying to see the fretboard, but that actually makes it harder to play, okay? So the better thing to do would be to keep the guitar upright and just peek over like this if you really want to see the fretboard. So that's it. Moving on now, parts of the guitar. So three main parts of the guitar. We have the head, the neck, and then the body of the guitar. So before I continue, there are a lot of parts to the guitar, but there are only a few things that you really need to remember. And those things I will tell you when I'm done pointing everything out, okay? So here we go. On the head, we have the tuners. There are 6 of them, 1 for each string. Very important to keep the guitar in tune. Otherwise, nothing you play is going to sound quite right. Then we have on the head still, we have this white piece. It's called the nut. The nut just keeps the strings aligned. It just supports the strings. That's about it. Then moving on to the neck, we have this darker piece of wood below the strings. It's called the fretboard. And the fretboard is where we choose the notes that we want to play on the instrument. And the fretboard is actually broken up into sections called frets. So we can think of the frets as the spaces between the lines, which are numbered. So this is fret 1 here, fret 2, fret 3, 4, and so on. And if you look on the side of the guitar, on top rather, or maybe even on the fretboard, you may see dots. These dots are there to help you navigate the fretboard, and they're called fretboard markers. Usually they go up in odd numbers, so you may see one on the 3rd fret, then the 5th, the 7th, the 9th, and then possibly the 12th as well. Okay, so that's it for the neck. We're moving on now to the body of the guitar. The most obvious thing on the body, if you have an acoustic guitar like mine, is the sound hole. And the sound hole is basically the amp for the acoustic guitar. It's where the volume comes from. And then we have this piece down here, it's called the bridge. And on the bridge, we have this white piece called the saddle. It helps to keep the strings intonated as well. And of course, lastly, we have the strings. So there are 6 strings on the guitar. And if you look at the strings actually vary in thickness. The thickest one being the one highest above the floor. Now this string here on top is actually what we consider to be the lowest string on the guitar, although it is highest above the floor. And the reason for that is because it has the lowest pitch compared to the others, right? So this is your lowest string while this is your highest string. And we can just call the strings by number. So this is the 6th string, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and then the 1st string. Now the strings also have names. It's important to remember the names as well. So I'll tell you what they are and then I'll give you a simple way to try to remember it. The strings are, this is the 6th string here, E, A, D, G, B, and E, from the 6th to the 1st, right? E, A, D, G, B, and E. Now there's an easy way to help you remember that. I'll use an acronym. Eddie ate dynamite, EAD, goodbye Eddie, GBE. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. Simple. All right, so we've talked about basically all the parts of the guitar there. What do we actually need to remember out of everything? Well, the tuners, of course, those are quite easy to remember. But the frets, the fretboard is made up of frets which are numbered. So fret 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And the strings, for now, it's okay to just know them by number. So this one, physically on top, is the 6th string. So you have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and first strings. And then the next step would be to try to remember the strings by name. E, A, D, G, B, and E. That comes in handy really for when you tune or you attempt to tune the guitar. All right, so in addition to the parts of the guitar, it's also important to talk about the hands and the fingers, right? Because we have names for the fingers. So in guitar world, we just call this the thumb. First finger, second finger, third and fourth, or we could call it thumb, index, middle, ring, and pinky. Anyone is fine. And that's it for the parts of the guitar. We're gonna move on now to how to hold the pick. But for this part, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. So let's go. All right, guys, so this is gonna be how to hold the pick. It's quite simple once you get it right. We're gonna use just 2 fingers, the thumb and the first finger. You can start by just extending your first finger and you'll want to curl it back a little bit, right? Not too much, not too tight, just a little bit here. And on that last digit, we're gonna rest the pick right on it. It's gonna point away from the hand right now. And then we're just gonna use the thumb to lie flat across it like so, right? And that should be how we hold the pick with just 2 fingers. I'm gonna do it again, right? So just curl back the first finger a little bit. The pick goes right across it. And then the thumb flat on it like so. Now what you want to make sure is you want to not hold it too close to the edge, because when strumming or picking, the pick is going to wobble quite a bit and it's more likely to fly out of your hands, right? So a good place, at least at a beginner level, to hold the pick is maybe more in the middle. If you want to get into picking individual notes and melodies a bit more, then you might find that you may want to hold it a little closer to the point. But as a beginner, anywhere in the middle is fine. Also try not to hold the pick too tightly. If you grip and squeeze the pick too tightly, you tend to get a very harsh tone when strumming a guitar. So not too tightly and also not too loosely either, because too loose and it's going to fly out your hand pretty often. So there's a balance there, and it's a balance that you develop from playing. Don't worry too much about it. You'll get it. Just try to get this grip. So once more, curl your finger, rest it on the side so it's pointing away from the hand, and the thumb goes on. And if you were to bring the hand onto the guitar like this, so I'm out of focus here. Let me see if I can put it in focus. Right. If you were to just bring your hand onto the strings, it should point. This is very awkward for me. Looking at the camera and doing this, sorry. If you bring the pick toward the guitar, it should point directly toward the guitar like that. Okay, and that's how to hold the pick. Hey, so that was the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I do plan on making many more videos like this. If you are a beginner, the next lesson that you should check out is going to be on tuning. If it's not out already, it should be out by next week, which is my current schedule, 1 video a week. So of course, if you want to get that video when it does come out, make sure to subscribe so that you get it immediately. And also like and share the video with anyone you think may be interested in learning how to play. Because at least for now, my focus is going to be on beginners, right? So that's all I got to say. Until next time, goodbye.